This is Kicking It with Kev here on the couch in the clubby office of the San Francisco Giants. There's Manny Gaspard. He is the AAA clubhouse manager for the Sacramento River Cats, the AAA affiliate of the San Francisco Giants. Manny, what is a day in the life for you in AAA? What's that like?
Well, it's a good question you asked there, Big Kev. Every day is the same but different. You're always going to have 100 things to do, so you always want to make sure you stay ahead of the game. But when we're playing at home, my days consist of a little bit more just because I'm more operational and making sure the field is set up, but on top of making sure all the guys are ready to go. So that consists of making sure the on-field equipment is ready and placed in the right positions, the on-deck bag, throwing ball bags, helmets, making sure the game balls are rubbed properly and at the right time for the game, things like that. When we go on the road, it's a little less operational, I do more things with just equipment related in the dugout, so if a helmet breaks or something breaks, I'm going to fix it. But when we're at home, I'm moving 100 miles an hour, and Big Kev may get to experience that this year if he stays locked in throughout the season.
At some point, I got to make a AAA appearance up to fold some towels for Manny Month.
2022 Clubhouse Manager of the Year, baby.
Yes, he is the 2022 Pacific Coast League AAA Home Clubhouse Manager of the Year. Now, Manny, so you told me your day in the life and all. What's your most memorable experience with the Sacramento River Cats?
I would probably say when we won it all in 2019. We were AAA national champions.
Ooh.
But one of my biggest, I think, takeaways is I get to be a part of big league call-ups. So when it's your first time getting called up to the big leagues, like I'm in the room with you, and that's a moment that you and I are going to remember forever. So I get to be a part of that transition from them as a minor leaguer into a major leaguer, and kind of get to have those personal moments and exchange words before they make that step into the big leagues. So it's cool for me to get to see those guys develop, and once they get to that right maturity level of being a big leaguer and they get the call, seeing their success and just getting to touch base and check in on them every day is probably the thing for me now that I love the most. It's just I love getting to send guys to the big leagues.
All right, and also, Manny, speaking of the big leagues, you got to be a part of the Major League Giants this past June at the Rickwood game, the MLB Rickwood Classic, and it was like a day or two after Willie Mays passed away, and Willie, he's a legendary figure in the game. His number 24 is retired in the San Francisco Giants organization. Manny, how was it like being with the team at the big league level at Rickwood, literally 24 or so more hours after Willie passed? What was the meaning like that, and what was the vibe?
Yeah, I mean, it was, first of all, speechless. You almost felt like you went back in time, back into the era. The way the stadium is still built the same way. They still have the original clubhouses where all of the Negro League teams played, and they had each team has a locker, so there was all the artifacts similar to Cooperstown. So it was just really fun and cool to be a part of a moment in history that will be remembered forever. And it allowed me to be more thankful and appreciative of kind of where I come from history-wise, and knowing that I'm a minority. So it was cool to just see all the struggles that players and coaches and everybody that were involved in baseball back in the day, kind of what they had to go through to sacrifice to help me get to where I'm able to be today. So yeah, just being a part of that moment in history was a memory of a lifetime that I'll be able to tell my kids and grandkids about, and really just be thankful that I was able to be part of a celebration of life. Obviously Willie passed, but in that moment we took that weekend to celebrate his life and kind of just cherish all the memories, and we got to hear stories from people that were in Willie's life, and we met the scout that found Willie at Rickwood. He actually explained the story where the two teams, there was the Black Barons and the White Barons, and during the White Baron games, the African Americans had to sit down the right field line in a colored section. And when the Black Barons played, it was the opposite. All the black fans sat in the stadium and the white people sat in the back. Well, this guy was sitting in the back of right field and saw Willie play for the Black Barons, and he is the guy that helped get Willie signed into Major League Baseball, which would eventually change history forever. So getting to hear stories like that and getting to hear people who lived their life with him was things that, again, you can never replace or take for granted, because those stories will be with me forever. And I feel honored to be a part of such a historic moment, and not only in baseball but in life itself, because that moment was a moment in history across the whole United States.
And one more question. You've been in the game for a good while. How many years will this be this year?
This is year 15.
Year 15 in the game. Who is your favorite player that you've ever come across with that's made it to the major league level?
Probably, that's a hard one.
Got to pick one.
If I had to go back, to the Royal days, I was originally with the Kansas City Royals, so from 2010 to 2016, had a lot of great guys. If I had to choose one guy, honestly, I'd probably just have to keep with my son, Elliot Ramos. I've been with him since day one, and he was a crazy Energizer bunny off the walls. And to see him mature and grow into what he is today, and help be a part of that, is something that I think would be really cool for me to look back on as he still has success. But that's not to say, there's hundreds of guys. I've been blessed to meet greats, on rehab and things like that too. But yeah, Ramos was a special one for me, just because I really helped as far as the clubhouse aspect of his, career, and making sure he held himself accountable and learned how to be in bed and just how you hold yourself in the clubhouse. It was special to see him grow and understand why I was so hard on him, because he didn't get, when you go to big league games, you can't have a messy locker, right? In the minor leagues, you see it all the time, because everybody's got a bunch of shoes. If they're a prospect, bats, a lot of clothes, they don't know how to keep it clean, because this is their job. But in the big leagues, you can't let any of that fly, and so it was really cool to see him go from a disaster tornado in the locker room as far as his organization to now he's a professional, and now he's succeeding at the highest level. He was an all-star last year, had a breakout year, and I think this year is going to be even bigger for him. So I'm excited to see the success that, my son, little Elliot Ramos, my boy. Love you, bro. You're going to do good things.
All right, that is Manny Gaspard on Kicking It with Kev.